Service Chief at Jesse Brown VA. Our discussion is going to focus on veteran food insecurity, veteran non-food needs, and volunteer opportunities. It is a distinct honor and a pleasure to have you here, Patrick. I am really looking forward to hearing more about this topic. I know that you have been in the volunteer service chief at Jesse Brown and worked for the VA for 20 years in a variety of roles. In addition, you worked at the Jesse Brown VA. He's a member of the National VA Volunteer Service Leadership Board. He was awarded the inaugural VA Community Partnership Award in 2014, the Red Cross Chicago and Northern Illinois Military Hero Award in 2017, and the Illinois Disabled American Veterans VA Employee of the Year Award in 2017. It's a pleasure to have you on, Patrick. Why don't you tell us about veteran food insecurity, veteran non-food needs, and volunteer opportunities?
Well, thank you so much, Colonel. I want to thank you and Mr. Kelly, Ms. Jackson, for having me on. I believe this is my third time having the pleasure to communicate with you and your concerned and involved audience. So it really is an honor. So as you mentioned, I've been the chief of voluntary service here at Jesse Brown for 10 years, an employee for 20. I'm not a veteran. I always like to make that clear. My father was a Chicago guy, World War II veteran, and a member of General MacArthur's Honor Guard. Both my grandparents, my grandfathers, one was a Chicago policeman, the other a Chicago fireman, which I know is pretty surprising since I'm Irish. So we have a long history of serving in Chicago. So our mission is to improve the lives of those who served. And, of course, COVID has thrown a wrench into some of our plans, but we continue to move forward and look for ways to serve. My team has identified some of the basic needs, very similar to Maslow's theory on the hierarchy of needs, of the basic needs someone needs in order to be able to spend energy and focus on things beyond that. So obviously hunger is one of those needs. If you as an individual have food insecurity or you're concerned about the ability to get food for your loved ones, I can't even imagine how you could focus on things past that, like your own education or your own mental health or the pluses in life that we all try to seek daily if you're still trying to meet those basic needs, or clothing or housing. So those are the things that my team has identified. And with the support of our director, Mr. Rick Ament, and our leadership team, and I've got to say our voluntary service team and the social workers here at Jesse Brown are the hardest working social workers I have ever seen. We have varied methods of meeting our veterans' needs, but we can't do it without the community. So in 2013, we started the first veteran food pantry in the nation, and that's where we did earn that honor of the Community Partnership Award. And for 7 straight years, every Tuesday, we served between 150 and 200 veterans robust groceries as a result of our partnership with the Greater Chicago Food Depository, AmeriCorps, and many others. We had to put that on hold in March. So since then, and this is where support from the community has come in, we have been able to continue to provide for those in need through a few different channels. So one, we have asked folks in the community to purchase and donate single-serve food items that are shelf-stable, like pop-top items you could throw in a microwave, fruit cups, granola bars, etc. And we distribute those through our social work drop-in centers and here at the VA to veterans that present and are obviously in need. Secondly, we have asked donors to purchase, and we have used donated funds as well, to purchase shelf-stable groceries, the types of things you could bring home and put in your pantry and use as needed. So, pastas and soups and things in that line. And we've been very successful there, and the Greater Chicago Food Depository and the community at large has helped us with that. And the third approach on the food angle has been purchasing local grocery store gift cards. We then provide our social workers with those gift cards. They are shopping and buying the specific groceries that their veterans in need can use, so there's no food waste. So we have turned our food pantry that we had weekly into that basically three-pronged attack on veteran food scarcity and food insecurity issues. So we really need to thank those that have helped us. I'm going to right now give my information on how to reach me, and then I'm also going to talk briefly, if I have time, about two other areas. But please contact me by email at patrick.gleason@va.gov or by phone at 312-569-6334. That is my direct line. If I don't pick up, I will get the message and I will return the call. So if you're interested in helping us, please do that. We talked about housing and shelter. We have a wonderful social work team, HUD VASH, that helps provide our veterans in need of housing with housing. But what we can't provide without the support of the community is things that go in those homes. So especially right now, we have a very intense need for the things that you need to clean your home and do your laundry. So if you can think about kitchen and bath and laundry, soaps and cleaners and mops and sponges, if you have the wherewithal to provide those through your church or your community group or your neighborhood or just as an individual, please do so. You can contact me. If you have a decent amount, we could certainly run a pickup arranging ahead of time. If we do have a cargo van we can use once or twice a week. And if you want to just drop by with a bag or two, arrange that, and we can meet you at your car, and you don't even have to come in the building. But those are things that our veterans really, really can use. And the third area is clothing. So just this morning, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 134, wonderful group of folks, for the 7th year in a row have dropped off truckloads of underwear and T-shirts and socks. So to most of us, we think, well, that's really great. But those that struggle to get underwear and T-shirts and socks, that is a blessing. And all the things I've talked about, the one word that ties them together is dignity. So by the men and women in the Local 134 taking the time to collect those and bring those in, they provide dignity to our veterans. And you have to remember that every veteran at some time in their lives was willing to give everything for us. And for us to occasionally do something for them is certainly not asking too much. So those are some of the direct ways that people can help us.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Some of the things that you're talking about, Patrick, when you were talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that, many of us, every day, we all get hungry at some point. And, just think about what happens if you got hungry each day and you couldn't fulfill that need. And you had to go on to the second day and the third day and the fourth day of feeling hungry and not having enough food to eat. So I really applaud you in that whole initiative with the Veterans Food Pantry. And the three different things you were mentioning, the different three-pronged approach. So, you can give single-serve items you were mentioning. You can also donate funds, and then you can also donate cards that are, purchased at local grocery stores for like gift cards. So how do people get these to you? Maybe you can give the address, or where can people drop these things off?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Colonel. So our address was Jesse Brown, VA, 820 South Damon in Chicago. Our zip code is 60612. We're just a few blocks south of the Eisenhower, 290, and very easy. And the best bet, as I've given my phone, 312-569-6334, would be to call or to email me at patrick.gleason, and that's Gleason, @va.gov. And we can arrange a time when you can stop by, and we'll meet you. Of course, because of COVID, we don't want people taking any extra chances, but we can meet you at your car with a cart or whatever to pick up the donation. And let me mention that all donations are 100% tax deductible, and any monetary donation, in addition to being tax deductible, unlike some situations, 100% of the donated dollars goes to the cause. So if someone to write a check, say, for $100 for us to buy winter coats for our veterans, we would buy $100 worth of winter coats and make sure those got to veterans. So because we don't have administrative fees, and we have wonderful partners that are nonprofits, and we understand administrative fees are necessary, but we don't have them, so you can rest assured every dollar donated goes to that cause. So I appreciate that opportunity to bring that up. And so the best way, call me, email me. If I'm out of the office for a day or two, as soon as I get back in, I will reach out and we'll make that connection. And we love long-term relationships.
Fantastic. Yeah, because we have a lot of listeners who are not just veterans, but we have other people who are listening as well. And people are always worried about, where does my money go if I make a donation? So this sounds like a perfect cause, 100% tax deductible, and also 100% of the money goes directly to the cause that you're giving the money for. With no administrative fees there. I mean, I can't hear of a better deal than that right now in the Christmas holidays.
And that's correct. And each donor receives, if it's an item, they'll receive a letter with the description of the item, a thank you letter from us that they can use just for their own sense of well-being, but also as tax evidence. And those that do write a check or provide cash, we provide a field receipt that documents the donation, deposit, etc. So really, it's a wonderful program, and we're right here in Chicago. So we are serving Chicago area veterans. It's not going anywhere else. The other thing I'd like to mention, I mentioned our clothing need. We always need winter coats and men's pants, especially jeans, and men's shoes. Our veterans can't just go and get the clothing or the underwear that the local 134 dropped off. They can't just go get it because they want it. They have to see their social worker first, and their social worker evaluates and writes a voucher. So we know the veterans getting these items have real need.
Okay.
So that protects the interests of the donor and protects those items for other veterans that really need it.
Oh, that's fantastic. I can't think of a better program. It looks like you've really thought everything through, making sure that the people who really are in dire need get these things. And, one question I have about the clothing. So, often people have clothing that they donate and that kind of thing. So you're looking more for new items, but people have, coats, they have sweaters, they have things that they try to donate to Goodwill and those kinds of things. Are you looking for those kinds of things as well, or are you looking for someone to go to a store, purchase something, and bring it in a package?
Well, thank you for asking that. Obviously, new items are great, but we do accept gently used items. We do verify that they have been laundered and folded and placed neatly in bags or boxes. We can't accept any items that clearly are just tossed in because it's hard to tell if they've been laundered. So if folks take the time to clearly launder, gently used items, and right now what we're focusing on is winter coats for men and women. But men's pants, and that's particularly jeans and the Docker style because they wear better than dress pants, and any type of men's shoes or boots, and men's belts. Those are the things right now we're focusing on. Because of COVID, we don't have as much storage, so the other items we probably couldn't accept now. But those specific items, men's pants, men's shoes, men's belts, and men and women's coats, gently used, new, and washed and folded would be great.
Perfect. Okay, that sounds like a recipe for success there. And I want to mention again, your telephone number is 312-569-6334, and Patrick .Gleason, Gleason, at va.gov. I am intending to use those numbers and to make sure I make my donations this year to your cause, because it sounds like a perfect cause. 100% tax deductible, no administration fees. Every dollar goes to the cause, and I can't think of a better deal than that.
Well, that's correct, and I appreciate you recognizing that. And I have to say, I have a small team, but they're super hard workers. And as I mentioned, our leadership team here and our social workers, we really are a great a team to get this done. And we really encourage all of our veterans to come in to Jesse Brown VA and get their care here or at any of our outpatient clinics downtown or at Auburn, Gresham, Chicago Heights, and in Northwest Indiana. We have our clinic as well in Crown Point. So we're here for you.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you very much, Patrick Gleason. You have done a wonderful job explaining this. And America's Heroes Group, you are one of our partners with Jesse Brown VA Works. And we are so honored to have you on. And thank you for your service to our veterans and to their families.